Hello, everyone. This is Francine Crawford. I'm here to welcome you to Autumn is Here. We have a guest today from Innovative Senior Solutions, and her name is Miss Eshonda Blue. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for agreeing to talk to us about your company and giving us more information on seniors. So please, first tell me a little bit about yourself.
Oh, okay. Just a little bit about me. I am a registered nurse. My background was working in nursing homes, and me and my sister, she's also a registered nurse, but she's 8 years younger than me. But anyway, we both spent a lot of time with our grandmother growing up, and what I remember about her is she was kind of like a community grandmother. Like everybody came there to eat. She had so much hospitality and community in her, and she never asked for anything. And then when she got older and could no longer stay home by herself, she did tell us she didn't want to go to a nursing home. In fact, she was terrified of it. And she was our first client. That is how and why we started our business. And we started out doing home care so that our grandmother could stay home.
Okay, awesome. So then that branched out into you starting a business. Did you start just taking a few other people and seeing how that worked? Or did you just decide we're going to go big, we're going to get a company?
Oh, yeah, we started the right way. We actually started our business. We were fortunate, though, when we started our business, the local technical college was doing like a pilot for a business incubator. And that's where they were letting startup businesses come in for free. And they gave us like an office space. It wasn't a whole lot, but it was like a cubicle. And you could run your business and operate your business. And that's how we started our business. So we didn't have any overhead. And I think what was even more important about that was the fact that the guy that they had over the program was like a marketing director. Let me take that back. He was the economic director. And he had owned a business and sold it. And he was just so vested in us. Like we were getting all this great free marketing and business advice. He was really our mentor. And I think that mentorship was probably just as important to us having free space to start our business.
Oh, okay. Oh, awesome. So what are some of the things that you offer to the seniors and to the families of the seniors?
Well, our mission, if I go back, because I told you my background was working in nursing homes, so I know what it looks like to live in a nursing home. And so our mission is actually to improve the lives of seniors by preventing them from going to a nursing home and keeping them in their home or community as long as possible. And the way that we do that is through our adult day centers. We have adult day centers which are open Monday through Friday. And basically the seniors come in the morning and they go home in the afternoon. We pick them up. We take them home. When they come to the center, there's a nurse there. We're making sure they get their medicines. We give them breakfast, they get lunch and a snack. If they need any type of personal care, there are caregivers there. So if they need any type of personal care, if they're incontinent, if they have Alzheimer's, dementia, like whatever they need, we're able to provide that care for them while they're in our adult day center.
Okay. And you actually pick them up?
We pick them up and we take them home, yes.
Okay. Where are you located?
Well, we have 5 locations in Georgia. So we are in Americus, Georgia, Albany, Georgia, Valdosta, Georgia, Baxley, Georgia, and Waycross, Georgia.
Okay. Is this funded at all by the state or anything like that?
Not funded by the state. No, we are a independent business. However, we do bill Medicaid as one of our payer sources for the clients.
Okay. All right. And how are you, because you have experience in the nursing home system, how are you making a difference? How are you making a difference in the care?
Well, the main thing is the keeping them in their home. that's the main thing is keeping them. I think having that choice. I think one of the things that we've learned since we've been in the senior care industry is a lot of people still think the nursing home is the only option. And we want to make sure people know it's not the only option. There are many other options to be able to stay home. There are other resources out there for people to stay home. It's something special about being home. Number one is where you've been all your life, is where you built a life, is where, because what I think about my grandmother, she used to get up and she got in her favorite chair, which was a recliner chair. Her TV was in front of the chair. She watched her favorite shows. She ate what she wanted to eat. She was surrounded by pictures of her kids and grandkids and great grands. Like, that was her sanctuary. And she was terrified of having to do that. So the way that I know that we make a difference is being able to, number one, to give people a choice to stay home and to have that option to stay home as they live out the rest of their lives.
Okay. So you find that environment is very important as they grow older, to keep them in their comfortable environment where they were as long as possible. So that helps them have better quality of life.
Most definitely, in a nursing home, and I have to be careful about what I say, because I don't want people to ever to think I'm against nursing homes. Because if I was not doing this business, I would be working probably for a nursing home, because I love seniors. That's my passion. But it is a different lifestyle. It is a different way of life. It's institutional care. And when you have institutional care, it's just different, and just to give you an example, on an evening shift, it may be one caregiver taking care of 30-something residents. Well, that's different than someone that's in their home with somebody one-on-one. It's a big difference. And so anyway, that is one of the ways that we are able to. So the choice is one. I think them maintaining their dignity is two. And their independence is three. Like, when you go into institutional care, you kind of lose some of that independence, because things have to be done on a clockwork basis. But when you're at your home, you still get to do all those things your way, the way you've done it, So I would say choice, dignity, independence, and privacy. All four of those are huge for being able to stay at home.
Okay. So there are places that have similar things that you have in adult daycare. What makes yours stand out, and what advice would you give to other people who have these facilities but want to give more or add something to it, or make it better for seniors? Is there anything that you would think that you stand out for?
Oh, wow. How do we stand out? Well, number one is we are very, very, very heavily involved in our communities, and that's how we stand out. People know us, they trust us, they know and trust us because we're in the community. And just for example, last week we went on a food drive tour. So that is how we stand out. I don't know what I would recommend to somebody else to say. Of course, we do quality care. Quality care, we make sure that and nobody's perfect, but we make sure any issues and complaints are followed up on. We do a lot of strategic planning. I think that's another way we stand out. We want to know what's wrong so we can make things better. If you don't know what's wrong, you can't improve. So we have a big thing on improvement and strategic planning. So that's just a couple of things that I could think of right off the top of my head on how we really stand out.
Okay, so if family members involved with your facility, do they come around and they help you at all or get involved?
Well, mainly our center is for respite, to give the families a break. But yes, we do have different activities through the year where they can be involved and they can come out. But our main thing is to really give them that break they need. They're taking care of them all day, every day at home. So we do offer that break, that respite care for them. Okay. But to answer your question, yes, we do have different activities through the year where they do get involved. Yes.
Okay, awesome. I know when my mom had Alzheimer's, it was difficult, but one of the things that I found relief is in an adult daycare center, and I didn't even know they existed. And when I found that, I was so excited. It was a really nice one. And during the time that she was in it, it was from the city, and the city cut the program. So that, I had to find another place. But I remember feeling finally getting a rest, finally getting like, okay, she's safe here. She's going to be doing something. They're going to, they understand what her situation is. So with your seniors, of course, you have different. They're all at different levels. So you have people who have dementia and things like that. How do you deal with that? Is there a staff that is trained on specifically on dementia and things like that, and you have different services for them?
So all our staff is trained on dementia care. They're all trained. They're all CPR first aid. They're all trained on how to deal with the elderly. So that's I guess you could say that's one of the ways our centers stand out too. We take pretty much all populations. We're not just Alzheimer's, dementia. We're not just disabled adults. We're not just special needs. We kind of we take everybody. And because of that, all our team is trained to basically deal with those populations.
Okay. What would you like to see other people do in their city, state, or whatever? Is there anything did you keep up with what's happening all around in other areas or other different places that have senior care? Do you keep up with that? And is there anything that you would offer to say that maybe there's something else that we should kind of get together and do as a community? How?
Oh, you had about 4 or 5 different things right there.
I'm sorry.
I would say back to how we stand out, because one of the things that we do, we go to national conferences, we go to state conferences in our industry so that we can stay aware of what's going on out there. And one of the things that I know, because we have a strong background in making sure quality care is there. I'm a little concerned that some people are coming into the industry and don't really know anything about senior care. So that's just quite a concern I have. But I think what we're trying to do to help that, we do have a franchise opportunity. So we're, for the first year, we're going to only be in Georgia. So in 2025, we'll only be in Georgia. But in 2026, we're going to open up our franchise opportunity to other states. One of the reasons we're doing that, so we can make sure that quality care is there. I don't know if you can say one thing that you said you finally found a place that you felt you could trust and leave your mom, and that feeling is everything, right? And so we just want to make sure that's something that we're big on. So anyway, that's why we franchise, so that other people could become a part of our model and actually do those things that we know need to be done.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Great. So now you're branching out and you're sharing with other people, and that's just something that I think is needed. And I think that people have the heart and they're interested. And some people have spoken to some people, and yeah, they want to start agencies and things like this, but everybody doesn't understand what it takes and are not qualified to do that. And then where do you get that from? You know what I mean? So that's awesome. That's awesome. Have you seen differences in seniors? Like if seniors come and they're resistant, or they come and sometimes they're not social. Have you seen differences in them, the growth in them, or?
I've actually seen differences in both. And when I say both, the family member. Like we've had, and I understand where they're coming from. We had a family member who was taking care of it was a husband and wife taking care of their dad. And they were so protective of him, and they wasn't quite sure, can I leave my dad here? They had so many question marks, and they had really molded their life around taking care of him. And we were like, give us a try. You can come see him. You can stop in when you want to. Like we did all we could to make sure they felt at ease, that nobody was trying to hide anything. We're open. You can see what's going on. And when they let him start coming, they had to come back to us and say, oh my gosh. And in fact, we even gave them some respite days because they had not taken a vacation. They had not even taken a weekend. And that made such a difference in their lives. He was fine. He was having a ball. He was coming, and he has Alzheimer's, but he was fine. It was never really even an issue with him. It was really getting the family to be comfortable with letting him come. And that's why I pointed out what you said about, having that, being able to leave your mom somewhere. They just it almost gave them life, right? It almost gave them, it gave them their time back. So, yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about senior care planning.
Yes, that is huge, huge, huge. So out of all the years we've been in senior care, we've never, number one, had a senior come to us. It's always the family member. And the reason why we feel like the seniors don't come is because, one, they think they're independent. They want to be independent. They don't want to impose on anyone. And they do not tell you that something is wrong. Usually when they tell you something's wrong, it's really wrong, right? Something's really bad going on. And so, like I said, the family members never, the seniors never tell you that something's wrong. And so it's the family members that's calling us, and mom and dad has fallen, and, she may have already broken her hip, or they've fallen and they're in a bad situation, and nobody's planned for this. They don't know what services to use. They don't know how much it's going to cost, who's going to pay for it. And so I feel like it is really, really important for families to start planning for senior care. Start having that conversation early on and just say, Mom, when you get to this point, what do you want done? Where would you like to go? Have a discussion about who's going to pay for it, because a lot of people think Medicare pays for senior care. It does not pay for any type of care other than nursing home. Medicare does not pay for any service outside of the home. So I think that's number one, is if we can really work on planning for senior care, it will help a lot.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, that's what we have to keep getting people more involved in that, because it is so very, very important. So I'm going to ask you a personal question. Have you, as you've been going through this and it's grown and things have happened, how does it make you feel personally of what you've achieved and what you're doing for the community and for seniors?
I would have to say, I feel like it's my calling.
Okay.
Right. It's my calling. It was something I started doing this at 22. I'm turning 50 next week. So it's my calling. It's something that I know I've been called to do. It's an honor to do it. And because I feel like it's my calling or my ministry, I want to make sure I'm doing it right unto God. And so that kind of motivates me. Like, if we don't do it right, I've always wanted to make sure too that anybody that was in our care, it would be okay for my grandmother.
Okay.
That's kind of like my litmus test. Like, if it ain't okay for her, it ain't okay for nobody. Right. So I don't know if I look at it in terms of accomplishment. I look at it in terms of it's what I've been called to do.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. That's great. Well, sometimes it is, it's hard to find out what your purpose is, and you seem to have found your purpose.
Yes.
Great. Awesome. Is there anything else that you would like to say to the audience, or give any advice or anything like that?
Yeah, I would say it's so many ways, because like we have a podcast too, or it's not really a podcast, but a live show where we talk about to family caregivers, teaching them ways to navigate the senior care waters, because it's not easy. Number one, I would say look for caregiver support groups in your area. That's something that we're looking at putting in place in all of our day centers. So number one, you guys know you're not by yourself. Number two, you know what resources are available to you. It's just like anything else. When we have a network of people we trust, we can say, hey, have you heard about this company? Have you used this service before? And you kind of have that network of someone who can kind of assure you.
Yeah.
and guide you, or in what you're doing, and someone that's going to say it's okay, because sometimes nursing home is the only option. Sometimes that is the only option.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay too. So just someone who kind of understands. And I know I've met family members and they feel bad about it, and sometimes that is the only option. But how can you still support your loved one while they're in a nursing home? What are some things that you can do so that that they're taken care of? So I would say finding a support group would be great.
Okay. Okay. And what is your live show? What's the name of it?
It's called the Green Table Live Talk Show, and we have it on Mondays at 6 p.m.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking time to speak to us on Autumn is Here and giving us your information about your company and just some encouragement for people to that are trying to do this or starting their own, or just people trying to feel comfortable in getting a place for their parent. And that there are places like this around, and it's really good. It's really good to know that. I know you're in Georgia now, and that you're franchising, which is kind of exciting.
Yes, thank you. We're trying to get the word out. So
Awesome, awesome. So I wish you the best. Thank you so much, and happy birthday in advance.
thank you.
And thank you again for sharing your story and your information about your company on Autumn is Here.
No problem. Anytime.
Okay, bye-bye.